September 7th, 2011. The first matter on our agenda this evening is for the acceptance of the minutes for September 22nd, 2011. Any board members have any corrections or comments on those matters?
Have none, Mr. Chairman, and with that, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes of September 22nd, 2011.
I'll second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Those minutes have been accepted. Moving along, we do have a public hearing scheduled for this evening. The public hearing is for 65 Harvard Street. The Lowell Planning Board will hold a public hearing to hear all interested persons relative to an application by Hawkins Real Estate seeking a special permit to reduce the frontage requirement for building lots from 90 feet to 75 feet. The proposed project is located at 65 Harvard Street. It includes a subdivision of the existing parcel to create a building lot with 10,758 square feet of land and the construction of a single-family residence on the proposed lot. The subject property is located in the suburban single-family zoning district and requires special permit review for the planning board under section 5.1.17 of the Lowell zoning ordinance. We did receive a letter from Attorney Flood, who represents Mr. Hawkins, indicating that he was requesting a continuance due to the fact that the matter does require 4 votes from the planning board, and tonight we do not have 4 members available. I believe Mr. Jenkins is here on behalf of the project. Mr. Jenkins is here, and Mr. Jenkins, could you just state your name for the record, if you would, please?
Dean Jenkins, 244 Fairmount Street, Lowell.
And I had communication. I know that you reached out to some of the neighbors today.
I did. We actually spoke. We did. I spoke to Nancy Judge. I left word with Nancy to try to get to as many of the neighbors as possible. We have been in communication with the neighbors. We had a meeting, and actually we've tried to reach out to a few. This gives us a little more time to get to some more neighbors if we can prior to the next meeting. So, Nancy Judge with the Highlands group was going to contact as many people as possible. So looks like she did pretty good.
Thank you for that, and also for notifying the neighborhood association and neighbors. Due to the fact as indicated that we do have, you need 4 votes for this project, and unfortunately we short 2 members tonight. There is a request for continuance to our next meeting, which is November 21st, 2011. Any of the board members have any comments on the request to continue?
And Mr. Chairman, I think it's a reasonable request given the state of the board tonight, so I would make a motion that we continue the hearing until the next planning board meeting.
Second that, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made and second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Chair votes yes. We'll see
Thank
you
you.
on, everybody who's watching, the matter will be on for November 21st, 2011.
Thank you.
Actually, before you leave, Mr. Jenkins, before you leave, I did have a question. I don't know if it's you or Aaron that could maybe clarify things a little bit. Is it appropriate to ask a question?
Sure, if he can answer it, if he's not, I mean.
So the plan, the site plan that we got, the motion before us is to approve the site plan and reduce the frontage requirement from 90 to 75 based on the recent ordinance that the council passed that gives, in this particular neighborhood, the right to do that through the planning board. But in the site plan, it details the site of the reduced frontage as well as the neighboring site, which has some parking requirements, and there's parking drawn out on that site. So my question is, why are we looking at both sites together, and how is the parking relevant to our decision?
Well, to first address the question about why both sites are part of the review. The new lot that's proposed is under the 90 feet, as you referenced. The lot that it's being subdivided from, the existing lot, where it has the existing building on it, is also going to be under the minimum frontage of 90 feet. It's 75, if I recall correctly. So both will be seeking the special permit to reduce the frontage for both properties. The parking, I believe the use is not necessarily going to change in the existing building, but it was intended to show that the existing property meets the parking requirements and other zoning requirements that exist in the zoning code, other than the frontage, the lot area, parking, that sort of thing.
Okay, and the lots, is it historically 2 lots, or is it a single lot that's being divided?
It's historically a single lot, and it's
No.
actually, is it not true?
It's been two separate lots.
And it's also it's actually creating three parcels, 2 building lots and a third parcel.
Okay. Now you can have lot A, B, and B.
Two.
If that's what was on your plan, right? Yeah.
If memory corrects me, this would have been a Form A lot prior to the zoning change.
Yes.
That's what's created the.
correct.
But, you know, in fairness, honestly, for me, I mean, because I don't want to, like, get the pot boiled over here with the neighbors. We're trying to, like, show the neighbors how our project is different from others. I don't want to try to speak at all to it without having anybody from the neighborhood present. You know what I mean? So I'd rather just, like, you know, let it go because we don't have the quorum, so, and we can do it then. I mean, if that's possible.
Yeah,
we could
I mean, I
start
think
that.
if you have a question, clarification, with
But
hopefully.
I think I'm just going to stir up more, you know, anxiety than anything else if that's
no
the
problem.
case.
All right,
Thank you.
okay. Thank you. Okay, moving along, that matter is continued. We have notices from Butter Town and stand and file.
Second.
Motion is allowed. We had the ZBA notices, the one, I spoke with Plan Division Development about that today. The ones that were due for the next meeting, we've already acted on, and the ones that come up with new ones, they didn't have any power, so all those have been continued, so we have no new ones for our consideration this evening. After that, we have the general correspondences. I'll start with Aaron from Division of Plan and Development. Any general correspondences first in regards to anything else come up in the near future?
Just a couple of things. You'll notice that the packets, the one item in there is Boot West is scheduled for the next meeting for a public hearing. And that is, again, it's a review of a project that was previously approved. I want to say it was, I think I said earlier 2007, but I think it was closer to 2005. And because of it, no forward progress happening in that project for the last couple of years, all of its permits have lapsed. And so they'll be seeking the site plan review, a zoning board special permit for the use, and then they're going back to the historic board to revive that approval. But I handed out the project files for that proposal. However, we don't have any of the department comments yet, so I just wanted to get those out to you so you had them as soon as possible. That's something we're going to start trying to do is in the meeting before. We're going to hand out at least the plans and the application so you can start reviewing that earlier, and then we'll send and following our comments and other department comments as a follow-up. The other thing is the CBA project on Gorham Street is actually going to be scheduled for the first meeting in December, which I believe is December 6th. But it's the first Monday of the month when that will be, instead of the next meeting.
Is the plan for the boot mills basically the same as what we saw before, or are there many changes? Or just-
The site plan is basically the same. There's the number of residential units has changed slightly. I don't know off the top of my head exactly what the difference is in the interior layout is going to change a bit as well. But the site itself, they're not really proposing any changes. And if anything, it's kind of probably more with the historic board, they're going to go through the refinement process. Even though it was approved originally by the historic board, they didn't really go through that the process where they specify materials for the site, the landscaping materials. The historic board gets very detailed on that. So they haven't really gone, from the original approval, they hadn't really gotten that far. So at this point, they're going to be trying to lay that out. But as far as the site plan, it's essentially the same thing.
You said the units have changed, did they go up or down?
I believe it's down.
Okay, because I know last time when the questions like we addressed before was some of the parking, so I know if it's down, then obviously they need less parking.
Well, and it's the same situation where all the parking, essentially all the parking.
Close to the garage.
Is all, yeah, they're going to be.
So they get the relief
right
from
in
the garage, because in close proximity to
Yeah,
that. Okay.
yeah.
Any general correspondences, any board members? Having none, I believe we'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Before we do that, I just wanted to comment on how nice the view is from up here at the big table. Thinking maybe next year we should consider rotating seats throughout the year.
Yeah, No problem. Either get the little extension like the Thanksgiving table,
That's
you
a
know?
good idea. That's a good idea. Maybe hang off the side here.
You know, like when our table got too big at home, we had to do a little buffet table, then we'll do the sit-down table.
Right.
Especially when the grandchildren started coming along. so.
Jerry and I are at the kids' table.
Yeah, we're at the card table.
Anyway, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah,
Motion made, second. So we have adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Good night.